Let's see if we can't do something about my boredom. Okay, so for this fight and the one immediately after it, I didn't do live commentary. I tried to do live commentary, but I had to do the fights several times, and eventually it got to the point where I was just grumbling and snarling. So I'm recording this after the fact. The reason is, for both these fights, I had a goal other than just kill the enemies. Because if it was just kill the enemies, you can see I'm using math skill here. That's not a problem. I mean, you can go into both of these fights and just one-shot everything Geese Howard style. It's too easy. But the thing is, Ramza, there's a unique ability he has on the Squire class. It's the spell Ultima. But the only way for him to learn it, vis-a-vis blue mages, is to get hit by it. And these two assassin bitches that you're seeing cast it. And as you can see right now, she's targeting Ramza with Ultimate. Yay her. It's not even that powerful a spell. Like, you have to make Ramza into a caster and then give him Guts as his sub ability so he can cast Ultimate, because you can't math skill it or anything like that. So generally, you're not gonna get that much damage out of it, but I want it, and I meant to have it, and this is the easiest fight to get it in. You can get it in the next fight too, but you got a lot more to worry about in that next fight than learning Ultima. These guys are called Apandas. I think that's a funny name. I'm sure it's some kind of actual demon, but it's just like, hey, did you see that? It's like, what is it? It's like a panda. It's like, I've seen pandas, Frank. That's not a panda. It's like, that's not what I said. They're casting all kinds of fun bios and stuff. Luckily Ramza blocks them, because one of the reasons I had to redo this fight is they can turn you into a frog, they can petrify you, and Ramza, I gave him gear to protect him from the assassins, to protect him from charm more than anything, which is a huge pain in the ass. Alright, here's where he gets hit with Ultima, and after his auto potion, it's like, hey, you know, this ain't a bad spell, you will learn that Ultima. What's it gonna take to get this Ultima in your spell repertoire today? So yeah, now that Ramza knows Ultima, there's no point to the rest of the fight. So all I have to do is critically injure one of the two assassin chicks, and the fight will end. And I needlessly go out of my way to make it as convoluted as possible, but all I do is walk over there and math skill Holy. There's like, if you're going to learn math skill, you might as well just learn Holy. Actually, that's not true. In the next fight, there's some enemies that Holy doesn't really work on, and so then you use Flare. It's like, you can't, it's like you either summon the Pope to punch somebody, or you summon Ric Flair. They're your two choices. Or Pope Ric Flair the third, the Nature Boy Pope. Uh, I'm ranting and raving. Probably because, God, the next fight. This fight and the next fight are going to be one episode. And it's just... I'll get into it at this when it starts at the next fight. But needless to say, I was not a very happy person. Probably the biggest hurdle I've encountered in this game, easily. Like, more than the first. I had to redo the first fight a lot, because, I mean, that's a lot of luck, whether Ramza with his no abilities, or no, he has wish, and if Delita is going to be pants on head or not. But, as you can see, now they're like, oh, sister, we've been injured, away. I hate assassin bitches. This fight right here, just watching this footage of it to record this post commentary is making me physically ill. It's just, it's not a hard fight at all. In fact, I accidentally won this battle several times. That's not the point. The point is Elmdor, that Sephiroth looking dude right there, who appeared in the earlier battle on a rooftop, if you remember. He has a unique set of gear, the Genji gear, which is like a Final Fantasy staple, which is, I guess, this super cool samurai gear. I don't know what Genji means. Noah's not here. But he has that. You can't get that anywhere else in the game in this version. And he has the Masamune Katana, which is also a Final Fantasy staple, which he's about to hit me with. Bam! So the only way to get those is to steal them from him, but you can't just come into this fight and be like, okay, I'm going to steal that shit. You have to... Shit has to fall into place. You need a Rue Goldberg machine that activates 10 more Rue Goldberg machines. So the thing is, he, as you just saw, he teleported across the entire map. He has the unique movement skill, Teleport 2, which lets him move to any spot on the map without fail. So you can't get away from him. Second of all, I got lucky in that he meleeed me. That doesn't happen very often at the start of these fights. Normally he does draw out, which is the samurai skill. He does draw out on the Murasame, and that hits at a distance. Luckily, it doesn't do more damage than my auto potions, but it has a chance to confuse you, and it has a chance to put death sentence on you. And either of those will fuck you up. Then he has Blade Grasp, so if you just go in and straight up try to start stealing his equipment, you have like a 7% chance. So you're going to have to reduce his Brave, because he starts with 70 Brave, and your reaction abilities like Blade Grasp are based on your Brave level. As you can see, Ramza has 90. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but what else am I going to talk about? I'm trying to get over the shell shock of this fight. Oh yeah, you can see I'm casting Flare here. I talked about that in the last battle. It turns out the two assassin bitches aren't actually bitches. Well, they're bitches, but they're not human bitches. They're actually Ultima Demons, which is what you see right there, in disguise as human bitches. And when you deal lethal damage to them in this fight, they turn into their true Ultima Demon form. which is good, and I'll get to that eventually. Also, I love the pose when he warped in, or she. They're still female. I found that out because you can use Steel Heart on him, so Ramza can woo himself some ultimate demons. But, okay, so you have to get Elmdor's Brave down. So your options to do that are to either use Talk Skill, which I tried, and threaten it down, or you use Math Skill and you cast the Oracle spell Foxbird. I don't know why it's called that. I don't know why it lowers Brave. It's got to be some cryptic Japanese bullshit. I have no idea. So you have to, it's basically your optimal setup, because I tried so many. Your optimal setup is Ramza needs the ability to steal if you want that set of gear, and he needs the ability to lower Brave. And it's better to give him Math Skill and do it that way, because then he has a lot of options, like, you know, hitting everything with holies and flares. And he can haste himself, which I think is what I'm doing right now. No, I'm casting Flare. Oh. My goal right there was to critically wound Elmdor, because the way the enemy AI works in this game is if an enemy is in critical and there are enemies that aren't in critical, then the one that's in critical won't go near you. It'll just run away. So this way Elmdor will back the fuck up, and I can just kite these ultimate demons around while I lower Elmdor's Brave. So that's what you have to do with Elmdor. So now we get to the assassin bitches. Both of them, when they're in their human form, have some of the most bullshit abilities in this whole game. They're probably the toughest enemies in this game, because they can, at range of I think 5, they can charm you, which has about an 80% chance of hitting, and I've only had it miss me a couple of times. And once they charm Ramza, you're done, because Ramza will run up to them to give them a big hug, and then they'll use an ability they have called Stop Bracelet, which works at melee and has a 100% chance of insta-killing you. And if that's not bad enough, if you're still far away from them and they don't want to use Charm, they can use Shadow Stitch, which has a range of 5 and 100% puts Ramza in stop status. And when Ramza's in stop status, his reaction abilities don't work, so he can't auto potion. So then it becomes, oh hey, there's a Ramza pinata full of delicious candy, let's beat the shit out of him, and then he gets slobber knocked. So you can't let them get anywhere near you. So if you've noticed, I put teleport on Ramza, and I'm just teleporting from one side of the room to the other, because if you do that, I finally figured out, if you do that and none of the teleports fail, you can cheese their AI so they just keep walking back and forth in the room trying to get to you, which they didn't even get a chance to do that in this fight, because I got lucky and hit them with like Holy immediately a couple of times and turned them into ultimate demons. And once they're ultimate demons, you don't have to worry about them, because they have really cool looking AoE damage abilities, but all they do is damage. And Ramza don't give a shit about damage, because Ramza's got auto potions. So he comes in there carting one of those IV things from the hospital, mainlining X potions, and you can't do shit to him. You can't kill Ramza, even though he must die. Well, you can't kill him with damage. You can kill him with bullshit abilities, but you can't kill him with damage. As you can see, now I'm Foxbirding Elmdor's Brave down. It's got a cool little animation, doesn't it? We need to... At first, I tried to get his Brave to 0, because if you get a normal enemy's Brave to 0, as we've seen before, they turn into a chicken. But unfortunately, for unique boss encounters like this, the characters won't become chickens, because that's the strategy I used, was to try to turn everyone into a chicken, and then turn it into Ramza's old-fashioned Genji Ho down at the farm and just start plucking that shit. But it didn't work. So Elmdor is immune to almost every status effect in the game, but he's not immune to slow, which is something I use because I keep hasting Ramza and I keep slowing him so I get more turns, because I haven't even gotten into gear... Oh yeah, look, there's a hurricane coming. I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's pretty and he hits me for damage, but fuck you. Gear selection. So for several attempts on this, I tried to leave Ramza as a squire, because he could equip the Excalibur, and the Excalibur gives you auto haste. And then I would just try to yell or scream. Ramza has a new ability called Scream, which you won't see in this fight because he's not a squire. That, you know, raises his speed, which you've seen me abuse earlier in these run. And I was going to try to get his speed up so high that he gets like 50 turns in a row and then go one-shot the bitches, but it just never works. Something would always go wrong. Elmdor would just spam his fucking Mursame, and I'd get either death sentenced or confused, and then I'd lose my fucking mind. If you follow me on Twitter or Tumblr or any other cool social media, when I was recording this, which was November 11th, I think it was Veterans Day, just a date when this video was made, I was not happy and I was losing my mind. So yeah, gear selection. So going into this fight, I pointed this out in a long-winded Tumblr post I did. You have very limited options on what you can equip Ramza with and what you can make him immune to. As far as armor goes, you can wear a piece of armor that protects from instant death, which is what I'm wearing now. It's called the Judo outfit. Or you can wear a piece of armor that protects from stop, which is the black outfit, I think it's called. And it's hard. It was hard to decide between those two because I feel like I'm a director doing this. I was like, in this scene, I had a hard time picking Ramza's wardrobe to get the emotional impact I wanted. But anyway, because the stop protection is good, because then if you get within range of the two assassin bitches, they can't shadow stitch you. But if they get anywhere near you, they stop bracelet and your heart stops and you die. Plus, Elmdor, who's spamming Mursame, just to get my point across. Mursame, I don't know. It's a fucking katana. Can put death sentence on you. So, I mean, then you're done. Because there's no way... The only way to prevent death sentence is to have a piece of gear that protects you from instant death. I tried casting Re-Raise on myself, but of course the moment Ramza dies, the battle immediately ends. He doesn't get another turn to come back to life. So that's that choice. Then in your accessory slot, you can wear an accessory that protects you from confusion and charm, which is nice because then the Murasama can't confuse you and the bitches can't charm you. But the problem is Elmdor, I don't think I mentioned in this, at least in this commentary, not only is he an annoying teleporting samurai, but he's also a fucking vampire. Like literally, if you examine his abilities, his secondary ability is called Blood Suck. And so he'll teleport next to you, use Blood Suck on you, and you get afflicted with the status effect Blood Suck, which makes your character an undead vampire that if you had other people other than Ramza, he would turn on and start turning them into vampires. So it's some fucking Dawn of the Dead shit. The only way to prevent that on Ramza, at least, is to equip the accessory 108 gems. Must be some Suikoden related shit. And that protects from Blood Suck, but unfortunately, it doesn't protect from any of the other status effects that are a problem in this fight. So there's no option. You have to have that 108 gems in your accessory slot or you're fucked. Technically, Blood Suck is supposed to only have like a 25% chance of turning you into a vampire, but that's a load of horse shit because in all my attempts, it had a 110% chance. The sight of Elmdor and Ramza would just grab the nearest living thing and start sucking the blood out of his throat. So, oh, okay, we're getting to the good part now. I finally have killed the two bitches and I've whittled him down. So now we get the fun part. If you look down at the timeline in this video, you'll see that there's still 20 cocksucking minutes of this video left. So don't think I just walk over there and I'm like, oh, you know, that Genji gear looks like it get hot and itchy this time of year. Why don't you hand that over to me? Ramza is trying to steal... I say that like I wasn't controlling him, like he's his own entity. Oh yeah, I went ahead and teleported and got that crystal because fuck Elmdor, I'm not letting him heal himself up. I want him one hit from dead, so when I get all that gear, I can just get rid of him. I think he takes that treasure chest later, though. What an asshole. What was it? Oh, I'm trying to steal the shield first because it gives him additional block chance on steal attempts. So if you can get that off of him first, you'll have a slightly, marginally easier time of getting the rest of his gear. Which, as you can see, I only have... Let's see, even when I'm trying to steal it from behind, I think it's 30%. Let's see. 32%. Yeah, missed. I like to think Ramza just fucking beefed it like the squid did that one time. Oh yeah, we were talking about gear. So that's your gear options. Basically, you have the 108 gems in your accessory, and then you get to choose whether to be immune to instant death or be immune to charm. No, stop. So you'll see a couple of times he puts death sentence on me with that katana, but when you have the instant death protection, once the counter reaches 0, Ramza just shrugs and the little death sentence turns blue and goes away. I get super, super lucky because he hits me with that move like at least it's more than 30 times he hits me with that move, and I never get confused, because if I'd gotten confused, I don't even know what would have happened, because when you're confused, the enemies tend to not hit you because that knocks you out of confused. So it would just be 50 turns of Ramza wandering around like a fucking idiot, casting God knows what. I have several videos of my failed attempts at this. I may make a like blooper reel and show you just how fucked up it gets. Oh, probably haven't mentioned yet. This, I probably did more than 40 attempts at this fight, and it was around 6.5 hours. So you're seeing the fruit of that. It's more than time than I've spent on any Ramza fight. I know I've complained about keeping Olan and Rafa alive, and I've complained about Gafgarian using Night Sword, but none of that shit compares to this. And like I said, it's not a hard fight. I accidentally killed... I've had the assassin bitches accidentally kill Elmdor. That's how difficult this fight is if you're not trying to steal this gear. Also, in the original Japanese versions and in the PSP remake of this game, Elmdor has the hidden maintenance ability, which makes his gear unstealable, so you can't actually steal any of this shit, and the only way to get it is in the PSP remake has this weird multiplayer mode that lets you get rare items that I've never done before because I've hardly played the PSP remake of this game. That's how you get the Genji gear. Oh, the Masamune katana, if you don't want to steal it from him, there is a way to get it. If you fight high-level ninjas in random battles, there's a chance they'll throw Masamunes at you. And if you have the catch support ability, or I think it's called Sticky Fingers in the remake, which sounds cooler. Oh, that's me realizing I can't steal when I'm that high up. I'm like trying to reach down. I'm like trying to grab his shield. I'm like, come on. But, you can catch Masamunes, so, the ninjas they're fucking giving them away. Yeah, I'm slowing him down. Every time slow and haste wears off, I just reapply them, because I want to get as many turns as possible, which you'll see a point coming up where I get 4 turns in a row. I think I'm trying to steal the Masamune. The last thing I go for is the Masamune. I take 4 turns in a row, and all of them missed. So... yeah, this was it was quite I didn't expect to comment on this long. I expected to start the fight and be like, this fight's stupid, dumb bullshit, and then knock the mic over, and that would be my entire running commentary of this fight. So there's not much left to say. This pissed me off. The rest of the run should be cakewalk. I haven't recorded the next episode yet. As soon as I finish this commentary, in fact, Final Fantasy Tactics is loaded in the behind me on the television. So I went ahead and I was like, well, before I record the next episode, I might as well do my commentary on this. It was last night I was doing this. I didn't even attempt to do this commentary last night because I was still too fucking angry at the world. So I figured I'd take a day and cool off, and I could look at it objectively. As in, Elmdor is objectively a motherfucker and I hate him. Oh, summon all ghosts out of my magic sword. Oh, Cloud Strife, I'll beat you one day. I mean, this guy, even as a kid, because I remember I bought Tactics after 7, because that's the order they came out in, right? Yeah. But I remember even as a kid, I was like, look at this Sephiroth-looking motherfucker. Look at this Black Materia having Genova Project-looking Hojo Lucretia-born fake alien, not really the Cetra-looking motherfucker. Apparently I knew the most spoilers about Final Fantasy 7. I probably didn't understand the plot of Final Fantasy VII at all at the time, because the first time I beat that game, it was like a fever dream. I had no idea what was happening. I was like, what's going on? You got a sword, and then you ride a motorcycle, and there's like a cat robot, and then there's a hidden vampire, and then you do a ruby weapon. So, oh, ruby weapon. He only looks big. We'll show him. God, I love pointy bits, my Oni. Oh, this shit's beautiful. This is where I decided to go ahead and get him down that last 10 fade, because he started at 70, and every time, which it missed right there, I probably screamed fuck, because it's just wasting my time. But he starts at 70, and every time you hit him with Fox Bird, which I still don't get the name of, he loses 30. So he's at 10, and the reason I didn't reduce it to 0 is when you reduce a character to 0 brave, I keep interrupting myself. You'll notice not only did I just get death sentence on me, but he broke his Murasama, but I guess he just has the big things that the hunters have in Attack on Titan just hanging on his side full of Murasames. This is a katana. Fucking katana. It's Japanese for fucking katana, which I realize katana is a Japanese word. Oh, that, I finally got the fucking shield off of him. So, yeah. But, look at the timeline. There's still 12 more cocksucking minutes. So, don't think I just fucking trip and knock that shit off of him. It's a struggle. Yeah, when you get him down to 0 brave, he gets 1 back a turn. But I go ahead and do it anyway because it gives me a couple more % chance of stealing this shit. Why couldn't he be like, remember when I fought, I don't even remember her name, the woman in the green dress that I got the Defender sword off of? Like, I just walked up to her with a grocery bag and started plucking that shit off of her like grapes. Speaking of which, I think in the next fight she joins up with you. So, yay, another NPC character that I won't use. I'm looking forward to the next fight because you fight Elmdor as his true Zodiac monster form, and I don't got to deal with any of this shit. I'm gonna put all that Genji gear on just to taunt him, and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him. It's gonna be so goddamn satisfying. God, I've talked about a lot of stuff. I still can't believe I'm still talking about this fight. Ugh. I'm probably just gonna stop talking because. What else is there to say other than it filled my life with misery and woe. It was Mr. Krabs, and I was Squidward, and I quit, and he filled my life with misery and woe, even if I quit. No, I'm gonna go. I'm starting to get a little upset again, just remembering it. I'm starting to get the flashbacks, starting to get the vapors. So, tell you what, I'm just gonna stop talking. The video is gonna go up to normal volume, and if you want, you can watch me spend about 9 more minutes, more like 10 more minutes getting the rest of that fucking Genji gear off of him. Genji gear sounds like a cool, like, Japanese spin-off of Metal Gear, even though Metal Gear's already Japanese. But, you know, I digress. You enjoy the rest of the fight? Leave it in the comments if you actually watch the rest of the fight. I'm genuinely interested because I'm not going to. I'm going to hit stop on Audacity, and then I'm going to close the video player that I'm watching this in because I've had enough of it, and I already remember what happened, and I don't ever want to live it again. I don't ever want to steal that Genji gear I stole that day.